This episode of Mighty Car Mods is proudly brought to you by us, Mighty Car Mods, and our all-new premium black on black all-weather jacket. We got Mighty Car Mods on the back, we got black chop fingers on the front, and my mate Martin's a model.
That's right, you can get yours. We'll send it to you anywhere in the world. Click the link and grab yours today.
Now, we hope you enjoy this episode. It is absolutely massive. Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods. Marty has bought a complete pile of rubbish, sight unseen for $1,000. What do you get for $1,000 these days? You get that. You get unregistered. You get crashed. You get broken. There's a lot of smoke coming out of that.
That'll be fine. What are you worried about? It's a Subaru. They never break.
They always break. What'd you buy, Martin, and why?
This is a 2000 GC8 WRX. One owner. 24 years of consistent ownership, complete service history, probably spent as much on servicing it as they did on buying it. And I got it, and I got it cheap.
And then let me guess, Martin, someone stole it and then ram-raided a bank with it.
I'm not entirely sure what happened to the front of it, but all I know is that it hit a ute. Don't know how, I just know it hit a ute and it smells like durries.
That's Australian for cigarette. What are we going to do with it?
Fix it. Save it. Cast it back into the sea of enthusiastic Subaru owners who would love to own a one owner, technically two owner now, GC8. Where are you going? Where's he going?
Going away from you.
You love Subarus. You've owned as many as I have.
A load of bullshit.
Welcome to a special episode of Mighty Car Mods where we are fixing and flipping this GC8 that I got really cheap. I was at a parts shop and I overheard a conversation with an older lady and an older gentleman who were trying to get rid of their turbo GC8 WRX that they bought new and have serviced every single year for 24 years. They asked how to get rid of it. I said, I'm how you get rid of it. I heard nothing for 2 months. Then I got a random message on a Sunday that said, we'd like you to take the car and we'd like $1,000. Please come and get it. So I did.
So here it is. It's a car that may have been crashed into a bank. We have no idea whether it works or not, but there's a lot of white smoke coming out of it. This is crashed. Potentially there's damage under there, which means that it's like beyond normal, cost-effective repair. We will find out. But as you can probably see, there is a whole lot of stuff wrong with this car, such as
this, that, this, gross, this, that, dirty, chat, gross, broken, that, this.
That's what we're dealing with. The car could be absolutely munted and beyond saving, but to find out for sure, we're going to send it down to my friends at VIP Smash and Mechanical and get it fixed.
WRXs may have been overrepresented at smash repairers back in the day, but that's only due to their popularity and performance. There was a time where this was one of the most potent street weapons that money could buy, and they sold like crazy. These top-end versions were not cheap, and so damage like this would have been repaired rather than the car be a financial write-off. And we're bringing that attitude forward a quarter of a century, and we're gonna save this car. Using a combination of old school panel beating, which is bending things back to where they're supposed to be, and replacing the most important structural parts, Joey and the boys will have this thing back into shape quick smart. It's always most economical to paint other parts of the car while the car is in the booth and paint is in the gun, so some of the sun damaged and faded panels are also getting refinished. This is a huge amount of work, and even with some keen pricing, this is still going to eat most of the budget to repair the car, but the transformation will hopefully be worth it, because no smart person is going to buy a crashed WRX. Wait.
Well, the car is back, people, and it looks amazing.
And still smells like shit. Like it's been basting in a booth, just heating up even worse than before. But
Look at this.
look at the transformation. It's incredible. I'm always impressed by what smash repairers are able to do. And, you know, when this car was new and someone paid 50 or 60 grand for it and you had a stack like, you'd repair it.
Yes.
Without question.
Yeah.
And now that you go, okay, the car's worth less, a lot of people just chuck them away or re-shell them. But like, that repair is the same as it was back in the day. Just pull it all out, put new bits in that are beyond repair and paint it.
Like, that is actually professional. I'm all for the DIY, as you know, but there's no way you can get that finish with a Honda Civic on a driveway, painting it under a tree as stuff from the tree falls off into your paint.
I don't know what to do.
What's all the stuff in it?
Stuff in the tree and the sky and the universe.
True, particularly because you're like replacing, you know, inside bits and new bumper bar and new guard and all that sort of stuff. But I am so happy with how it looks. The rest of the car is now being shown up a little bit, but that is something we are going to fix.
Hey Martin, have we discussed the biggest problem with this car so far?
I don't know if we have.
Okay, the biggest problem with this car so far is that we own it. So let's start with that. The second biggest problem, and there's three big problems, three really big ones. The second biggest problem,
Yeah.
you know what? It wasn't meant to, I'm going to say the smell. It actually smells, it smells like a combination of durry, sweat and shit.
Probably a bit of like a few little water leaks here and there, and they get a bit mouldy, and then it sits
Water
under
leaks?
a tree. Well, if any
Dude,
water
that's
gets
human
in,
fluid that you can smell.
but if any fluid gets in it, you spill a big drink in there, and it never gets to dry out properly. That's where you get the mold and the growth and the bacteria, and then it starts farting out back like smells.
Anyway, that's the
which you would
second
know
biggest
heaps
problem.
about.
Shut up, dude.
And then
that's the second biggest problem. The
So
third biggest problem, this.
yeah,
See this filthy stick here?
Yep.
This filthy stick is attached to some filthy technology called an automatic.
well, they have their
That-
place.
Yeah, they have their place in the freaking bin. So we're going to fix that, but I actually don't want to have anything to do with this car until all of this, all of this receptacle, all of this automotive sponge of human filth goes in the bin.
In the bin. So that's the plan. Also, it's worth mentioning, we are going to try and flip this and make some money back on it. And the truth is, if it's got that stick in it, it's pretty much instantly like a 30% discount or more. But they're just not desirable. This kind of car with an auto is not that desirable. Luckily, there's lots of parts out there. You can get manual gearboxes for these things reasonably inexpensively. So I reckon we manual convert this.
Yeah.
And I reckon this goes in the bin.
Oh, totally.
Tidy it all up, make it look mad. And then, especially now it's painted, we'll clean it up a little bit. I reckon we'll get way more back for it.
And what we're going to do, which we don't often do because there's so many variables, this time we're going to do it. We're going to run through what it's going to cost us to fix it, and then how much we actually sell it for, and see what we've made. Because in the past, we've made like a couple of $100 on some cars when we were doing cash versus trash, and we were kind of trying to see what things are worth, or when we're flipping things. But we're going to see how much time we spend on it, how much money we spent on parts, and then what we can sell it for, and see if it was all worth it. But for now, let's get this interior and throw it in the bin. So it turns out this particular model was a special edition released right at the twilight of the GC8 WRX life. An automatic gearbox and this luxurious cream velour interior was considered very fancy, and a last-minute push to run out these cars before the Bug-Eye WRX was released soon after. While the colour might not be offensive to everyone, the fact is that the special edition seats are also different to the standard WRX seats that were considered some of the best of their time. So even if the colour and dirt holding ability doesn't upset your brain and eyeballs, the fact is that you're going to be falling out of these seats on high G-forces while evading the cops on your weekly ram raid.
Some good news is that the car was actually $998 so far. So sub $1,000 WRX, actually 10 more cents in there. And you can kind of see all the concentrated ash here from being smoked in. The people I bought it off did say that someone else was driving the car for quite a while towards the end there. I think that's where most of this has happened. Because before that, if you'd bought a car with a cream interior, you'd have to spend a bit of time and money looking after it.
The matching door trims are coming off, and as much as I'd like to throw them in the bin, truth is that stock door trims like these cost more than we paid for the whole car on the second-hand market, so we'll have to be a bit more creative with them. The carpet is also a hairy repository of human slime and definitely shouldn't be put on your mate like a furry turd jacket.
No, you're right, you just walk through that way and put it over near the pallet.
You go.
You go that way.
You go first.
Put it in the pallet.
Dude.
Watch the door trim. The door trim's on the floor.
What's that down there?
I don't know.
Dude, what's that?
That's a paper towel. Careful of the door
Why
trim.
are you assaulting
Careful
me?
of the door trim.
Why you don't
Careful
touch
of the door.
Take your hands off my... So there are a couple of mysteries that we've uncovered during our automotive archaeology adventure here. A couple of which are these kind of, a few of these things. They're like gold caps. Maybe they're off like makeup or something like that. There's also these little caps that look like, I don't know if that's from the top of a syringe or what that is. There's also a lot of this just soaked paper that's full of hair, and there's quite a lot of that. But also down here, there is a device that, as you can see from this gaff tape, has just, I guess, been installed by someone. It definitely is not factory. I can't work out what it is. So it basically has this box, which is not mounted at all. More of these caps, that appears to have a kind of an RF cable hanging out of it that would normally be running an antenna. And gaffer tape to that was this that says a rechargeable SLA battery. What do you reckon that is, people? If you know, let us know, because I'm intrigued to know. I mean, it appears to be wired into like a significant sized loom. Martin, it's got an Ethernet cable on it, like an Ethernet port.
That's sometimes what they connect handsets to. Oh, that's a RJ11, I think. Hang on. Yeah, weird, I don't know. It looks old school, doesn't it? Like the wiring tells you it's old school.
And that. Anyway, if you know what it is, let us know.
It's a lot of
are we
wiring.
throwing this in the bin?
I don't know, where's it go to?
It's a lot of wiring, isn't
Where's
it?
it go to? Does it clip into something in the car, though, that we need?
But
Some weird
down there
immobiliser?
it's just sitting like that. Just that, with a bit of gaff tape holding the battery like that.
Maybe an old school tracker. No, it's got too many wires going into it. We've got to find out where the wiring goes. I think that'll tell us.
As much as rolling around in an automotive pigsty of filth is most Subaru owners' idea of a good time, it's not mine. I prefer the stench of soy sauce and sweat, as any true Nissan fan would agree. But the truth is that the best time to clean this up is now. So we're assembling an army of cleaning and detailing tools and products to send into battle against this filth. That's right, it's us versus 25 years of human slime. So a big part of this build is going to be the manual conversion. That is where we're going to get a lot of value out of this car. So the auto is going in the bin, and we're about to drop the gearbox out. That will also go in the bin, and then manual conversion. People don't refer to these as Lego cars for no reason. Nearly every WRX part is compatible with other WRXs across the generations, and that is great news for us because it means that full conversion kits are cheap. Marty picked one up off Marketplace for the same cost as the car itself, which should have everything we need. But before that can be swapped in, we need to remove the filthy automatic transmission from this red rocket and throw it where? Yep, in the bin.
Okay, so dump has to come off to get to the gearbox. Interestingly, right there in that rubber grommet, that is where our manual pedal will go. And the clutch master cylinder, look at that, ready to go, holes and everything. So we just poke it through, bolt it on, and you've got yourself a manual WRX.
That's pretty cool, man, isn't it?
Save some time at the factory and save us some time now, 25 years later. What was that? Is that your tongue? This is Aaron. So interestingly, we went through the books in this car to see all the service history, and it has a complete service history. And we kept seeing the same name pop up in like the technician that had done the work. It was you.
It was.
So you recognise this car?
I do. I've worked on it quite a lot.
Really? What have you done to it?
The last thing I remember doing on it was a major service, timing belt,
right.
all driveline fluids. Other than that, I can't remember whether we did brakes or pushes or anything like that. I don't think we did.
It's pretty good, man. Like it obviously has been serviced. Like for a car that's 25 years old, not that much stuff leaking out of it. Like
No,
not those yuck, grotty stuff that people ignore.
Yeah, it's been well looked after, that's for sure.
Like it's actually had a legit rego check. Anyway, we've unbolted a bunch of stuff. I've got as far as getting the dump off. I've never actually seen one of these where the heat shields are still there because they've always messed with, but this is so original that it is. So what's the next steps to get this off?
We've got to remove the two bolts holding the heat shield to the up pipe, get that out of the way, and then we should have easy access.
Then this off.
Yeah.
We already undid the auto from the top, so then pitch mount off and then just like gearbox out, is that it?
Yeah, pitch mount, starter motor, bell housing bolts, and then it's out.
Out. Amazing, let's go. Let's do it.
The automatic transmissions are pretty big and heavy, but getting one out is straightforward, and like most Subarus, it's a mix of M6, M8 and M10 nuts and bolts holding the whole thing in, so no exotic tools are required.
The auto is an absolute monster. Like I'm not used to seeing them in these little GC8s, and there's the heat shield that everyone pulls off. I guess it kind of protects the steering knuckle. I don't know, usually they go in the bin. But the up pipe is gone. Sorry, that pipe's there, dump pipe's gone. Now we can get this thing off.
There's a tiny bit of mixing and matching involved when manual swapping these cars. Around this time, Subaru changed the way the drive shafts fit the gearboxes. Some have stub axles that poke out of the box and some use clip-in shafts. If you buy a Hall conversion like I did, double check both the hubs and the gearbox to make sure you've got the right type. There's heaps of info out there about mixing and matching, and most important is that your diff ratio has to match your gearbox. There's gearbox code references out there online that can help ensure you get the right stuff.
So we're using the CRC 556 all over the car to get this dirty automatic transmission out. And they call it multi-purpose toolkit in a can, but probably not in the way that CRC expected, because you can pull the lid off and put it in the back of your Subaru gearbox to stop it leaking fluid all over the floor while you are removing it. Now, it's not going to stop a torrent of oil leaking out of there, and you can get specially made plugs, but that's a mad little hack.
Alright, enough messing around, time to get this dirty automatic out of the WRX and into the recycle bin where it belongs.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Be gone, automatic. Now look, the good thing is this auto probably saved the engine a bit, because instead of having clutch dumps through the front windows of banks and ATMs in the boot, it probably just drove around, and it drove around for a long time. So the auto has protected the rest of the car. So thank you, auto, but your next stop is most likely going to be the scrap bin, because no one wants these.
Okay, that's only partly true. There's plenty of 4 EATs getting around in some fast Subarus, but let's be honest, manual, all-wheel drive and turbo is supreme, and you cannot change my mind. While the back of the engine is exposed, I'm going to replace the rear main seal and give everything a bath in some brake clean.
So it's important when you're working on a car to kind of set the parameters of what it is that you're trying to achieve. And with something like this, it's a little bit different to usual. We're normally modifying cars for performance, so we look under here and there's lots of stuff that we'd change. In the case of this car though, it's something that we just want to fix up and then move on. And there are a number of things that we can do to make it better and more attractive for someone to come and buy it. Now, these cars are already known for handling really well, almost as good as a Nissan, but there are a couple of things that we can do to upgrade down here, such as the sway bar bushes. We can upgrade those, upgrade the end links, and also the steering rack bushes there. Now, I've ordered all of that stuff from Whiteline. This here's a couple of $100. I'm going to replace all of that, and what it means is, A, we know that that's all been done and the car's going to feel nice, tight, new, good direct handling, all of that kind of stuff. But it also means we can list those things on our ad when the car actually goes up for sale, and hopefully get the attention of someone that will appreciate that that stuff has already been done and already done properly. So let's get into it. These bushes are wear items, so refreshing them once a century is good peace of mind. They also happen to be relatively cheap and easy to replace, so while it's in the air, it is the perfect time. The factory bushes are rubber, which are cheap to produce and also quiet, which matters for a brand new car on test drives. For our purposes though, some urethane bushes will make the car feel a little tighter and stiffer, which is not a bad thing at all for a car that is known for its sharp and fun handling. The sway bar bushes are super easy to swap over. The steering rack puts up a little bit more of a fight, but these are excellent bang for buck and sharpen up the steering feel. I'm going to give the rear the same treatment. Again, it's a simple, cheap and effective upgrade to this Nugget WRX and should make it feel nice and tidy when someone comes to take it for a test drive. All right, that is the back done, front is done. Now we can move on to the clutch.
A huge part of any manual conversion is the clutch, but not this old thing. We've got a new one here from Extreme Performance Clutch, who are a sponsor of Mighty Car Mods, and they have sent through this, which is a flywheel and clutch kit. Now this is a really nice piece of kit here, but you'll notice it does look kind of stock, and that's on purpose. We don't want to get a really heavy pedal or have it to be hard to drive, which can happen if you're putting really big, heavy, massive HD clutches on. So we have a new cover plate there, a new clutch cover, and new material itself on the clutch disc. It also comes with release bearing, and the nice part is we also get a flywheel. Now, you can get your original one machined, particularly if your swap comes with any flywheel, you can get that machined, or you can go for a new one. This is a chromoly flywheel as well, so very strong and not that heavy. It's not going to be like a super light one that's going to be hard to drive. Just like that, which is really nice. We've also got the new bolts as well, because a lot of the time you will get a conversion that little details like that are missing. Maybe it's the flywheel bolts or the clutch cover bolts are missing. Not today. We have everything we need. We also have a bunch of other components like a new slave cylinder there. We also have the new rubber boot that often goes missing or breaks down. We've even got the fork. So Australian Clutch Services, ACS, Extreme, same people, they make all this stuff. We're going to put it into our WRX, which is going to be the key to our manual conversion being absolutely excellent.
We've gone for an organic single plate clutch which will easily handle the power of the stock engine. However, if the new owner wants to change turbos, free up the exhaust and intake and maybe turn up the boost, this clutch should easily handle a 50% power increase or more without any problems. Most importantly for us is that the pedal doesn't feel heavy or the car hard to drive, because that messes up your chances of selling the thing on a test drive. But we can still list it with a brand new clutch upgrade.
Now this rusty pedal here, which you could pick up from a wrecker's for around 50 bucks, will add $5,000 of value to this car, we're guessing, approximately. Why? Because it means manual. Here it is, Martin. Show us what you bought.
Exactly. So this is actually a JDM 5-speed. Why does that matter? Because the ratios in here are 4:4 to 1. So 4.44 to 1. That means really, really like short gears, like you're rolling them real quickly. It makes the car feel really snappy and really light. This is probably the most desirable gearbox before you go to the Subaru 6-speed, but that's a lot bigger. So this is still nice and light. It goes into the car real easy.
My favourite car review I ever saw, by the way, was somebody reviewing the 6-speed box. Yeah. And he said the reason the Subaru 6-speed is so much better than the 5-speed is you get an extra gear.
Genius. Well, in our case, we saved thousands. So the 6-speed conversion could be anywhere from $3 to $5 grand worth of stuff. This was $1,000. That's for gearbox, shifter, linkage, shaft, diff, mount,
rusty pedal,
clutch, cylinder, rusty pedal, even the used clutch, which we
member thing,
cross member, and this we will replace. And this all just bolts in, which is great. And there's a few little tweaks we've got to do inside the car to make it know that it's now a manual car. So we've got to put our clutch on. We've got to tidy up some of this stuff, tidy up a bit of our parts, and then slap it in.
Does the car need to know that it's manual, or it just needs to know it's not auto?
The biggest difference is, well, that's kind of the same thing, but the biggest difference is that the auto has park and neutral, and a manual just has neutral. The ECU wants to know that it's in neutral. That's all it cares about.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to know it's manual. It just needs to know it doesn't have park anymore.
Doesn't change when much else that happens. Allegedly, there's a slightly different map in it, but it doesn't matter. As soon as you change turbos, you mess with all that anyway. So
sweet.
Chuck it in.
If you're going to go to the effort of yanking out your gearbox, it can be worth replacing a few key parts like the hydraulic system and the clutch fork. In our case, ACS supplied a new one as well as correct grease and bearings. Cleaning out the bell housing is a good idea while you're there to make sure you don't get stinky old burnt clutch on your shiny new one. We're going to check it all operates smoothly before we lift the manual gearbox up and into the car. Lining up the box and the engine and getting the input shaft into the clutch can always be a bit of a balancing act. Slow and steady is the key, as well as making sure everything is lubricated and can spin freely. The manual gearbox requires some different mounts, but all the mounting points on the body are the same. And while we're here, we're going to put an insert into the stock mount, which will stiffen it up a little bit. The shifter linkages also need to be installed, and we're putting new bushes on this whole assembly so we don't have a floppy knob. You can replace the pedals, or alternatively, you can chop down the auto brake pedal to the same size as the manual one, because the rest of the pedal itself is the same. Then our new master cylinder can be bolted in, and with all that done, it's time to turn our attention to the rear diff.
The biggest part of this manual conversion is now done, in that it's now got a manual gearbox and a real stick sticking up into the cabin so you can change gears the way you should. But the next part of that process that needs to be done is we got to change the diff, because we are going from a 4-speed auto to a 5-speed manual, which means this one that is matched with the auto will be incorrect because the ratios are wrong. Plus, it's got a pentagram on it, which is a little bit evil, so it's got to go in the bin.
And you have to change it. You've got to get a matching diff and gearbox. And as part of our conversion package, we got both and the tail shaft, which is also different. So we're going to snap that in. This is the one we're putting in is the JDM one, so it has the fun ratios. It's way more snappy. So this can go out. It's just a couple of bolts. We pop the shafts, drop it down, and the replacement one bolts directly in place.
I shouldn't admit this. I shouldn't. I'm getting a little bit excited about Subarus. You know how every 5 years I get a bit excited before I realise I don't like them anymore?
Yeah, you're like the sausage getting flipped.
Oh, is that what you meant?
Yeah.
I like them, and I'm actually getting excited. I'm not,
They're
I actually am.
They're likeable.
I'm excited to work on it.
They're a good thing, man. They really are.
I just thought I'd share that.
Thanks.
Oh, by the way, these gloves that I'm wearing, I wore these throughout the Hilux build, and I've been wearing them
Still
throughout
going.
this build. We have these are free when you get something from the Mighty Car Mods website for a limited time. They're free. Just buy stuff; it'll get added to your cart. We call them the Driveway Ninja gloves. They're
Dirty old
They're
Subarus,
free.
brought
They're
to you
awesome.
by our Ninja gloves.
yes. All right, Martin. Let's drop this out in the bin. Martin, why is that pentagram on there?
I don't know. Casting mark?
I reckon-
Identification purposes?
I reckon they did a deal with Beelzebub's Cabbage
To beat all the Evos. I mean, how else are they going to beat the Evos?
just by being better cars.
Well,
They're not, though, are they?
arguable. That's arguable, man. I really go back and forth. Like, you go back and forth your Volkswagen thing. I go back and forth thinking Evos are better than Subarus and Subarus are better than Evos.
The question is, Martin, you got a WRX STI.
Yep.
You got an Evo.
Wagon.
You got a Golf R.
The Golf R's winning in the straight line.
Yes.
Every time.
Yep. But
Unless
as soon as you
your
get
Evos
on
had-
dirt, it's not.
Yeah, true.
But no one drives on the dirt, do they?
Not Volkswagen owners, that's for sure. Too busy doing IT.
And as the resident IT guy, let me tell you that you should back up your stuff and don't click that dodgy link promising to 10x your money. And if you turn it on and off again, it will still be munted because you never update your system. Anyway, back to Subarus. The diff oil looks fine because it probably is fine, as this car wasn't thrashed, at least not as bad as the inside of it was thrashed. All we have to do is pop the rear shafts out of the hubs, then we can have room to pop them out of the diff, remove a few nuts, and the whole lot drops down. Easier than provisioning a virtual machine via your VPN, and I don't even own a Volkswagen.
Yeah, okay, thanks for that, Captain Bitrate. Anyway, thanks to Subaru Legoness, our mad new JDM close ratio diff will slot straight into the hole that we just made. And once it's in, the shafts pop straight back into place, and then we can fill it up with some fresh diff oil.
Diff went in really easily, which was awesome. Now this is the tail shaft. It's worth mentioning that the tail shafts are different. What's also worth mentioning is if you put a 6-speed into one of these, which is the big STI box like we did in my Tudor STI, the tail shaft you need is actually the automatic one that we just ripped out.
Really?
Yep, that's the one. But for this particular one, we need a manual tail shaft, and so this matches the box and the diff. So if you're buying a conversion, you need everything, including this, which will, because Subaru Lego, go straight in.
Just spin that diff a bit and get one of these in there so it doesn't fall on our faces. We are making heaps of progress, and I've got to say, working on a WRX from this era is way easier and more fun than working on a Volkswagen that came out the same time. There's just a way that Subaru do it that makes everything work, makes everything reliable, and there definitely won't be any problems at all. Except there is. It's the wrong colour.
I mean, it looks like a milkshake.
Milkshake is bad.
It was cheap. And I did notice there's a little bit of water in the exhaust. So yeah, it might have done a head gasket. Maybe.
Doesn't a milkshake mean all the head gaskets have left the yard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're like, it's better than yours. Yeah, it could be head gasket. Could be.
Awesome.
Not low on coolant though, and nothing in cooling system. So not conclusive, but likely. There goes our margin. No, not necessarily. EJ20, man. Basic EJ20, Caslapo.
What do you mean?
We just slap an EJ20 in it. It's easy.
Come on, man. We're not doing that.
Just get that fixer gasket. No, don't do that. That does not work. Yeah, man. We'll see.
What do you mean, yeah, mad? What are you talking
What do you
about?
want? It's a Subaru, dude. This is normal. This is normal part of Subaru ownership. You wouldn't know. You're too busy changing your rear tyres all the time.
Maybe
And
we should
cleaning
have
bomb
dropped this
smoke
oil
out.
before we did anything else.
Why?
So we would have known.
It doesn't matter. I'm committed. This car's mad, dude. You fix and flip. Focus is on the word fix, not flip.
No.
Flip is a bonus.
No. What
Do we need to have philosophical debate about what is actually happening here? Because this is fix, dude. Fix flip, not fix flip. Fix flip. You know what I mean?
No.
Come on. You do
What
know
are you talking
I mean.
about?
You know what I mean?
The idea is to try and sell the car and make some money.
We're gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the make some money bit, I feel, is just like a door that's closing and you're Indiana Jones trying to jump through it without getting your dick caught.
We've done pretty well so far. No
So far?
No one's dick's been caught in anything.
Well, that's the problem. Is this engine?
It might be. Yeah, it's possible. The oil looks pretty sad, and also it's been cold started and moved around a paint shop and moved around all these different places for like years, dude.
But that's not oil. What we're seeing drip out of there.
Well, it is.
It's brown. Well, no, only some of it is.
Yeah, it's watery. Yeah, there's a good chance there's some coolant in there, and that could have happened when a lot of the time when they get smashed, it loses coolant it stays running, or people move it with no coolant in it, and it gets hot and overheats and then breaks something.
So the question is, do we try and change a head gasket, or do you think there's catastrophic damage because of the lack of head gasket?
I think if you're fixing and flipping, if you can get a known good, because this is a very basic EJ20, there's nothing fancy going on here. So if you can get a very basic EJ20 and slap it in and put your turbo and all your stuff back on and send it, like it's only making 140 at the wheels anyway. You're not going for big power. You just want it to run. But again, this is also why it was cheap. It was cheap because it was damaged, and it's an unknown. If you'd paid 20 grand for it because it was a one-owner car, and then you saw this, you'd be devastated. I'm not, because it was $1,000.
It was $987.50.
Correct.
Based on the money we found
Yep.
inside.
And $1,000 for a manual swap, great. Now it's $2 grand for a manual GC8 with an ugly interior. Another less than $1,000 for an interior. Now it's $3 grand, nice interior, manual swap with a JDM gearbox, GC8. It's only a $3,000 car.
Yeah, but
So you put a $2 grand engine, it's a $5 grand car, and now you're starting to get into, okay, if you got this for $5 grand, you'd think it was a bargain.
we don't want to put an engine in it, Martin.
I'm not going to enjoy doing that, no, but we've got to do what we've got to do.
Maybe, is there something else we can investigate first?
I guess there's other things you can do to see, like leak down tests and see if it's like leaking and things like that. Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do that first. Martin, we could also...
What? No, dude.
Like,
It won't fit, firstly. And secondly, you don't do that, man. Fix! Flip.
no, but there's also, it comes a point where you just go, what do you want to spend your time doing? You know what I mean?
Hanging out with you fixing cars.
That's true. But this car.
I love this car. This is sick. And look, everyone watching thinks it's sick too.
Do you?
Yeah, yep. They do, man. All the Subaru people are like, that's sick. Can't believe how cheap it was. It's mad. GC8, OG.
I'm not saying you should give up
Saving
on stuff. But I'm saying...
Dude, you're all about fixing old stuff.
No, but there comes a
So
point
don't.
where you've got to do a strategic extraction.
Of the engine? Yeah. What do you mean?
There's,
You love fixing stuff, man. You know, dude,
Martin.
don't pretend. You know,
Martin.
deep in yourself, in your soul, in your heart. No, not shush me yet. No, I get to talk for a second.
Oh.
Deep in your heart and soul, you know that the feeling when this is fixed, and dude, people will help us. When this is fixed, you're going to be like, I'm so glad we fixed it. This is mad. Think about that first drive where it comes on boost and
I'm not going to drive it because we're flipping it. Parked right out there is...
Yeah,
That's just waiting.
yeah.
And the reason we're not fixing that
No.
is because this is sitting here.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, because you've got 3 other nuggets that need some love before that other thing gets love.
Well, only 2.
True. 2.
Only 2 more.
Yeah, well, I got 2 as well.
But the point is that sitting right there, that's what everyone wants to see, dude.
No, they don't.
That's
They
one of the
want
most
to see
iconic cars of all time.
This is one of the iconic cars of all time.
Oh, don't.
It is.
Hey, Martin, what I'm saying
No.
is imagine if you could wave your special meat wand...
And work on a Toyota.
And this was in the bin, and right now...
There's a Toyota on
our
here.
was sitting there.
On a Toyota.
Yeah.
All right. So my taste in cars became very boring and bland, and I like JDM cars. Actually, with my neck beard,
What are you talking about?
Toyota owners.
You are one.
Yeah, I know.
I just want this... I feel like the car hoodwinked us.
No, it
and
didn't.
we should have checked that first.
Why? Wouldn't it change anything?
No, because then we just wouldn't have done it.
But it drove fine. It drove fine.
When?
Women drove in and out and stuff. It was fine.
We drove it 3 metres.
Yeah. It probably drove 300 metres by the time we went paint shop, here, in and out, like tow truck. You know, it just drove
Is
a
it
bit.
blowing smoke?
Not at the diff. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Why are you so worried?
No,
You seem worried about it.
No, I'm not worried about it. I just look, there's a bin here
Yeah.
and there's a better car right there.
No, it's not better. Don't say that's not true. This is better. The better one's the other one.
Okay. I'm not going to talk to you while you're like this. I'm going to talk to
Did you call
whoever's
the
on the
tow truck
phone.
already? Truth is, the dude he's owned a couple of Subarus. And anyone who's owned a Subaru for long enough knows that's not really something to worry about. It's been sitting for ages. It's full of condensation. It's been cold started probably 50 times. It's going to be fine. I'm going to flush it. It's going to be fine. As long as it doesn't make noises and keep making milkshakes, no problem at all. He's just freaking out. He's going to put this on, flush it. It's going to cost us an oil filter and some oil. Flush it, make sure it works once it's running, and then we'll know for sure.
The chances of this engine being cooked are high, but I'm not going to let that stop me from getting this thing working. And in some other bad news, it appears the turbo inlet pipe is completely cooked. Literally cooked from the heat of the engine, and it will prevent the thing from running properly at all. I've managed to source a brand new one, but the entire intake manifold needs to be removed, which is a big job. With the new one in place, we can move on to installing our mad new interior, which I got cheap off the internet.
While WRX parts of this era are not as abundant as they used to be, you can still score some bargains. I managed to get a full set of front and rear seats from a 2000 WRX. This one's got a tiny bit of a rip on it. Basically, that's why it was cheap, so just a couple of $100. I am going to tidy them up before we put them in the car so they have time to dry as well. Anyone who's ever been caught by a detailing car video or a short or something might have seen one of these. It's an awesome little agitator thing in there. And it works the same theory as pressure washers that have these sort of power heads on them. It basically sprays it in a circular pattern or a mixed pattern. A vacuum cleaner in one of these, I reckon, is one of the best ways to get that dust and dirt and scunge out of something. You're going to do that first, and then we're going to do it with a wet and dry vac.
The best time to clean your car's interior is when it's actually outside of the car. You can get to everything and give it a good scrub and, importantly, dry it off. If you leave the seats full of moisture in the car and then park it up in a dark garage, you're on a one-way ticket down to Mold Town. We found this out the hard way with the Civic once, or twice. We're going to blast as much dirt and dust off these seats as we can, then spray them with interior cleaner, agitate and scrub them, and then use our battery-powered Ryobi wet dry vac to suck up all the human slime. Then they can be left outside to dry.
So like the rest of the interior, the door trims are a hideous cream. Now I looked up buying some secondhand door trims because they are out there for GC8 WRXs, but they are now that old that a good quality door trim is going to set you back $300 per trim, not for a set, for a trim. So I had to work out what to do, and my little friend Vinyl Paint here is going to sort it out. So this is how we're going to get our interior not looking so cream.
The trim inserts are plastic welded into the rest of the door trim, so recovering them is possible but tricky. Being these are headed for the scrap bin anyway if we don't use them, blacking them out will have them blend into the rest of the interior nicely.
It's a pretty ugly looking door trim. You can't actually replace that panel easily, otherwise I would just pull it out and retrim it. Not something you do on these. These trims are extortionately expensive on the second-hand market. So, thanks to a tin of vinyl paint, it looks pretty good. Not bad, not perfect. You can see a little few spots where it still looks a bit tan, but that looks way better than that.
Alright, next up, the Festi beige carpet is heading for the bin, and we've asked our mate Brad to install some moulded carpet. We got it for a couple of $100, and this will make an enormous difference to the look and, even more importantly, the smell of the inside of this car.
All right, people, I got good news, bad news, good news, bad news, good news, bad news, and some good news. The first bit of good news is we managed to sell the entire old Festi cream interior on Facebook Marketplace. The bad news is we only got $100 for it. But in good news, now the carpet is in, which looks absolutely incredible. The interior is all coming together. The bad news is this little center thing here is broken, completely thrashed, and we can't find another one secondhand. But in good news, you can get a genuine Subaru one from Subaru Parts in Japan. Now this here should be something that literally just bolts in directly where that other one was and should make the interior look a whole lot newer. Look at that, because it's not broken. Overnight parts from Japan that wasn't exactly overnight. So that's good news. In bad news, it's quite a tricky thing to install, which brings us to our last piece of good news. I'm going to be installing it with our all-new Mighty Car Mods bit ratchet set, which is available right now on the Mighty Car Mods website. This has got 10 pieces, a little ratchet there. It's mad. We'll ship one of these to your door anywhere in the world. So I'm going to pull this out, throw that in the bin, put the new one in, and then we're moving on to the this piece, which we got off Facebook Marketplace, and then we are also changing the steering wheel. All right, let's hook in.
Just imagine you're elbow deep in the dashboard of a 25-year-old Subaru that hates you, and the feeling's mutual. There's no room for your fingers or for your tools, but with the flick of a wrist, just like this, soon you're undoing awkward screws in the ashtray that you're about to find out that you didn't even need to remove. But the point still stands. It fits where other tools are too scared to tread. It's tiny, it's spinny, like a turbocharger, but better because it doesn't even leak boost. And in a world of tight screws in tight spaces, the Mighty Car Mods bit ratchet is truly mighty.
I've just taken this off and I don't really know exactly what's going on in here, but the whole of the middle of this car is wet and it's full of dark brown juice. You can kind of see some of it there. I don't know if someone spilt a drink or something, but it's just, everything's wet. See all around the climate control as well, look at this. It's just covered in browny kind of red juice. I have no idea what that is or why there's so much of it, but it's everywhere. It's up here, it's in there, it's down behind here, it's along the tops. Can you see here? It's like someone's had a drink explode. Oh, yeah, it doesn't smell good. Anyway, I'm going to give that a proper clean up while I'm here because that's just foul. But anyway, this here is now ready to go in the bin. More juice on it. Look at the juice. We are going from that to that, which is good. All right, so I was just giving this a clean and I think I found the culprit because I'm Sherlock Holmes now. This here, that is the cup holder. And I don't know if you can see the back of that cup holder, but it is full of that. I'm pretty sure that was someone drinking coffee, something that I refer to as a bucket of shit. Marty and I don't drink coffee, but someone has had a coffee explosion and that is what's going on there. So at least it is something that didn't come out of someone's body. It was meant to go in their body and didn't. So yeah, that is coffee. I'm going to clean all that up and stick this stuff back in.
Here's a couple of quick facts about Mighty Car Mods. Number one, Marty and I don't drink coffee. That avoids us ever spilling it through our car like this one. Number two, we're both left-handed, and the conspiracy online is that this is why the chop finger stickers are all left hands. That is some impressive detective work, well done.
Okay, that is in. Now that I've pulled this apart, I don't think you actually need to remove this lower section. That said, I'm glad I did because it means I can clean up all of that coffee. So I'm going to put that back together. And then next up, this one can go on.
Another thing that can really help spruce up the interior of your car is replacing an old steering wheel. This one with the wood grain is absolutely disgusting, so it's coming off with the help of some CRC and then it is going straight to the bin. We found a replacement off Marketplace which is all black and it's going to go way better with our new interior once it goes in. Now, if this was my own car, I'd be swapping out the wheels and tyres immediately, but the new owner's probably going to do that anyway. So for now, we're just going to clean up these wheels to make sure the car presents as well as it can.
There's some parts to bolt back on and then mechanically the car is good to go. The dump pipe is slightly different but it still works with the bracket adjusted. Next up we can put our freshly cleaned interior into the car. It's got the well-known blue and red material on it that ties in nicely with our red paint. The seats are way more supportive, but being from the same model, it means they bolt straight in without any modification. Then the door trims can go back in along with the associated plastic bits and pieces and switches. Boot carpet is next and it's looking complete again, but I've got some more accessories to make this thing look even better.
The interior is looking fantastic. It is worlds better than what it used to look like. And now it's got its new carpet, which is also fresh. All the smell is gone.
It is gone. It's incredible. I'm liking it more every minute, Martin.
Good. It's a Subaru WRX. But what I have done, we've saved you a bit of...
I might buy it.
Actually?
Maybe.
Oh, that's mad. You only have to pay half. We have saved some money by using a second-hand interior and redoing our door trims and whatever else. Where I've spent a little bit of money is here on this. And this is a boot mat, which is freaking awesome. It follows the theme of the colour of our car. It's a bit out there, but I figure on like a red/burgundy car, that's just going to give it a little bit extra. And when we're doing our photos to sell it, it just looks like it's like cared about because it's had sort of that extra bit put into it.
It's the biggest game of chess ever, dude. Look at that.
And the same with the mats at the back. Oh, t-shirt, mad. Same with the mats at the back. This is a set specifically made for GC8. And these will go in the back and they will go in the front, and this should look freaking phenomenal.
So these are made in Australia, Martin. Made by hand in Australia by
Fitmint. Fitmint, yep. So these are going to go in here, and that's going to look excellent.
Far out, man. This is great.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
You know what I like about them? They've got big prongs on the bottom.
Yeah, they don't move.
Very, very prongy. I don't know if prongy is the word that one needs to use, but that's excellent. Going in there. And what, of course, will finish it off quite nicely is Mighty Car Mods air freshener. These are in our JDM melon scent. Watermelony and delicious. I'll get one of those and throw that up in there. It's fantastic. So good, Martin. I like it. I like it a lot.
There are a few differences between the automatic and the manual WRX as it comes from the factory, and they are mostly actually wiring differences. So in the automatic ones, you've got these two big plugs here that talk to the automatic transmission. They come from the TCU, which is the controller under the dash that runs the whole thing. We don't need this black one at all, so that's no longer used. The white one does have some things that we need, like the reverse switch for when you put the car in reverse so the lights come on, and also the neutral switch so that the car knows it's in neutral. Now, luckily for us, the manual gearbox has 4 wires, which I've now extended. All we have to do is basically patch those 4 wires, find the right ones in here and connect them up. It does get a bit more tricky with the speed, because in the automatic, it gets the speed of the car through the automatic gearbox using some magic that I don't even understand. With the manual, it's a much more basic speed sensor signal where it's just basically reading off some cogs or tooth wheels within the gearbox. But we just need to send that signal, which is a signal, a ground and a power, inside the car into where the TCU used to be, patch them into a few connectors, and then there's just one sneaky wire at the ECU that you either snip or ground, and that tells the car that it's now a manual, and that's it. Otherwise it will drive. You can flash on with certain ECUs different maps and things to make it run a bit differently, but with those changes it will start, run and drive. At least I hope so.
If you're doing this swap, keep in mind that wiring can vary depending where you are in the world and what side of the car the steering wheel is on. It does make a difference.
So the bad news is there's been a couple of alarms wired into this thing. There's one here, a couple more intercepts down the bottom, and also this massive loom that I think goes to a tracker, and I'm pretty sure that's what that old 90s looking brown box was. So that's all got to go. Because that can send you on wild goose chases of trying to fix stuff that's not actually broken. So none of this works, none of this remote stuff works anymore. So that can all go away. We'll go back to basics, make sure it works, and then later on we can look at more immobilization.
Stripping out an alarm of this era is pretty straightforward. Join anything that was intercepted and remove any wiretaps and you are good to go. I'm going to put coolant in it now so it's got time to burp out any air while I do the final few mods. Go Fast bits make a blow-off valve upgrade that bolts straight onto the top mount intercooler. It's as simple as removing a few bolts, binning the old one and installing theirs. It features their response system, which means you can dial the noise versus recirculation to your taste. It also hasn't gone off 3 million times like the original stock one, which is now well due for replacement anyway. The only mechanical issue this car seemed to have was the factory boost control solenoid was noisy and it threw engine codes. Rather than mess around with the factory control, I've gone for a GFB G-Force 3, which is an electronic boost controller we can fine-tune to maximise performance, and it's easy to install.
So the factory boost controller doesn't work, and also the automatics run less boost than the manuals. So to save having to try and fix all the factory stuff and mess with old parts, I've actually got myself a GFB G-Force 3. This is an electronic boost controller that I can install onto the dash here. It's got a MAC valve up here that I've now connected into the turbo, the wastegate and the pressure source, and then there's just some wires that run through, and we can electronically adjust our boost using this actual unit. Perfect application on a car of this era as well. The ECU will cope with it because it'll still have its preset boost cuts and stuff like that. Plus, we can closely keep an eye on our boost pressure and how we control the turbo to bring the boost on as effectively as possible. GFB, sponsor of the show, have been for over a decade. Awesome bunch of guys, and they've invented this mad thing. So I'm going to plug this in, and we should have some boost control.
The boost controller will also display how much pressure is going into the engine because we've plumbed a line from the inlet manifold.
So believe it or not, people, this has all taken a little bit longer than expected, but it's now all back together. Martin's been deep in the spaghetti of wiring.
Absolutely.
And now I can actually say it, Martin. I can say this episode, it's going to start, even though we're near the end of this episode, but it is going to start. Martin, turn the key, let's do it.
All right, here we go. I hear a fuel pump.
I can hear clicks of relays.
Oil light went away, that's good. It means it's got oil pressure.
That's good.
Can you hear fuel up the front? Like,
I can hear something going tick, 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 tick.
I can hear fuel. I think we've got fuel, but it sounds like we don't have spark. Yeah, dude, that's no spark.
Turns out for this to work, there's a pin on the ECU that needs to be grounded so it knows it's now a manual car. But that doesn't really explain why the thing won't start.
I'm going to plug in the cam angle sensor,
What?
and I reckon that's going to help us, Martin.
Are you serious? Oh, that's from the manifold. That all comes off when the manifold comes off. For this split thing, remember? This thing?
Get in there, mate.
That would make sense. I think if these don't have cam or crank, then they don't spark. But everything else looks good, and you can even tell there's fuel pressure in there. Should we try again?
Yeah, give it a hit.
Come on, WRX. Be the ever-reliable Subaru that you can be. Here we go. Yep, definitely got fuel.
Hey!
Yeah, dude! It runs! It sounds good. It works. But now we have to work out how to sell it.
The whole point of this video, of course, was to get a car as cheap as we could and try and see if we can fix it up to save it, but also make some money. So here's a recap of where we're at so far. Car, around $1,000. And I say around because look at this action.
That's not bad.
I think we're at about $987.50. Anyway, call that $1,000. The smash repairs, $3,000, so we're at $4,000. Interior, $1,000. We did get $100 back, but you know, whatevs. Our manual conversion, $1,000. Then we've got another $1,500, which is kind of clutch and associated mods and serviceables and things like that. We are at $7,500, and the shocking truth is, people, is that's what I reckon this car is worth, around about. So if we sell it for 7.5, we break even. Why are you looking at me all cheeky?
Because I just looked up 2,000 WRX on Marketplace.
Is it even less than 7.5 grand?
I'm blown away as well. It's way more. These are worth way. These have hit bottom and they're coming up again.
$8,000.
Because we've got this car quite a while ago. It's been in smash repairs. It's been sitting there for a while, right? And I knew $1,000 was cheap for a GC8. But I'm just looking now, dude. Like ones that have kind of been messed with bonnets that are wrong colour and like, you know, just cars with lots of Ks and 6 owners are like $13,500. But the one that's blown me away is this car, which I scrolled down a little bit and found this one.
Wow, there's a lot for sale. Oh, that's our car.
Is
that $9,000?
It's pretty much our car. Look, same colour, WRX. It's got the same interior as ours. It's got a turbo sticker on it. One owner. This was one owner.
$28,000.
28 grand for a one owner red WRX.
They are absolutely not
Fine.
getting that. How long has that been for sale? For 4 months?
Yeah, so let's say they're dreaming by 10 grand.
Yeah.
That's still 18. Do you know what I mean? Like it's still up there. It's still well into the teens. And I haven't found one that doesn't look... Like, look, that one's got no front bumper on it. And it's got all like front mount and all sorts of like random parts in it.
And that's 14
grand. 14 grand. So I think we're in the teens, man. Granted, it's got no rego, but that does open us up to interstate buyers as well.
Maybe we're 14 grand, maybe we're 14 grand minus rego.
Yep.
Maybe we're like 13.
I'm thinking
14?
it. Yep, 13 or 14K
15?
13 or 14K is reasonable to ask on the market for this. It has higher Ks, so we're not in the $18,000 like old mate.
Yeah.
We're at the lower teens. And that is what they are going for at the moment. And we have a fresh, fully serviced. We've got a fresh Japanese JDM gearbox with the close ratios. We've got like an interior that's been completely done, new carpet.
The suspension stuff.
Suspension, new, like it's all been checked over and it's in pretty good condition.
Why don't we call it 15
And see what happens.
minus rego? Let's like 14 grand.
All right.
Does that sound reasonable?
I'll list it for that and we'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Yep. Let's do
Come
it.
and buy it. Are you watching this video right now? Come and buy it.
I have a feeling it's going to sell quick at that price though. Yeah, man. All right, I'll list it.
Sweet.
do it.
Let's do it. As is the theme with this car, we got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is, priced aggressively, there is a ridiculous amount of interest online for people that want to buy this car.
It blew up.
The bad news, we can't sell it. We tried running it for a little bit longer, and I don't know about your car at home, but I don't reckon they're meant to blast coolant out of the exhaust pipe.
I don't know where all the water was coming from, and it went past the point of being condensation. Oh, there's just a bit of water stuck in the exhaust pipe. No. It was somehow magically feeding coolant from where the coolant is to where the exhaust pipe is.
What does that actually mean?
It's a water pump now.
It means that engine is
Fully cooked.
So I'm glad I spent all that time with my friend Martin working on this car. And this is why we should rely on me buying cars sight unseen. Because he inspects cars, I don't. And I have a better track record.
$1,000 WRX. You cannot argue with the buy price. I got a bit excited.
I can argue with it. We just wasted our time.
We didn't. Take that back. We did not waste our time.
I liked hanging out with you. That was nice.
Dude, fixing the car was... Look at it. Remember what this looked like? Let's remind the people what this looked like. There's the outside. There's the inside. There's the festy transmission thing that has a D on it. No. Now it's mad. Now it is mad. And actually starts and runs really real well until it starts.
And runs!
It starts and runs really well until it starts pumping water out the exhaust. But the happy ending to the story is we managed to track down another motor for it. But there's even happier news than that. We found a buyer.
There's a happy ending. We could not, in good conscience, actually sell the car like that, but we have found a buyer.
A unique
and
buyer.
They're a mechanic, which is amazing. So what we've actually done is she's come down to Super Garage. We've gone through the whole edit to show her exactly what's been done so she can see exactly what's going on. And basically, we have agreed to pay for another engine, which Marty has found, and she's going to take the car once it has a new engine in it. So I'm going to have nothing to do with that, by the way. So Marty and his Subaru mates can do that. So that engine is going out. It is going in the bin. It's getting a new engine. Martin, how much money did we make?
About 165 bucks.
We made 165. And that's allocating how much per hour for our time?
Well, we haven't allocated any money for
Oh,
anyone's
working
time.
for free?
Yeah, and all our mates working for free too. Brad coming to the car.
$165?
Yeah, I gave out, like, me and Aaron, I got him some dinner and me and Brad hung out, like it was all good. You did, no, I'm not paying you for your time. And I'm not paying myself for my time. It's not about the time. It's about the journey and what you can achieve and the fact that this is saved. This thing's gonna go to some car meets. This is gonna be owned by a young apprentice mechanic. This thing's going to be doing laps. It's not in the scrap heap. It could have been. Not anymore. No. And we got 10 grand for it, but we spent 9,700 and something bucks.
I think that's 9,835.
That's probably more accurate. I'm not very good at maths. I just do the IT.
That's why we're not going to let you do this again. we got two Toyotas outside that are ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to move on to. It's a happy ending, I guess.
I'm stoked.
Do you know
with the
why it's a
outcome.
happy ending, Martin?
Why?
Because this thing is getting out of my bloody workshop.
I'm stoked that it's going back into the car world. It's going to be out there. It's going to be doing some laps. It is a mad little base of a car. Yeah, everything except the engine works really well. Gearbox works, clutch works, all the other stuff here. The interior looks amazing. It smells good. It looks good. Couldn't be happy with how that worked out. It's not always perfect. This is a quarter of a century old, this car. So bad luck, engine is cooked, but not for long. It'll be fixed very soon.
The new owner is an apprentice mechanic.
Correct.
The perfect occupation when you own a Subaru. All right,
Thanks
Martin.
for watching.
There it is. Thank you very much for watching. It was a huge episode, Martin. I do believe back in the day you said one day. This is what you said.
No,
you said
I did
blip,
not.
blip, blop, blop,
I didn't say one day.
and said K-swap with a Haltech.
I said 2 days.
Did you?
Yeah, and it
Okay.
only took 4. Maybe 5 days. Maybe 5. 5.5 if you include. Last night was 11 p.m, so that's maybe more.
Oh, you're calling one day 24 hours,
No,
aren't you? Okay,
no,
it
I'm
only
calling
took
one day.
4 days. Didn't it? It only took
don't
four
need- doesn't
four
matter.
days worth of 24-hour days.
Doesn't matter. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We've got some epic stuff coming up. You'll see. It's going to be so good. Even more cool cars in here getting the treatment.
Don't call me next time, dude. Seriously, just call your Subaru mates.
He loves it.
No, hey,
He's
no,
all like,
it's-
don't call me. Broom, what are you doing? Bro, I got a $1,000 WRX. I'm in. Imagine if I said $1,000 Nissan, could you imagine?
I like Toyotas.
Literally, time travel.
I like Toyotas now.
You like Toyotas?
They work.
They don't work.
Expensive.
Yeah, but they're bland.
People who own them have got better beards than me.
They do have good
And
neck
their
beards.
beards are on their necks.